Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. Myself, I feel a bit weird today. I feel a bit strange because I have completely messed up my sleeping pattern. I've completely wrecked it. And it's all because of this game, Kerbal Space Program. It's nothing to do with me. I'm blaming it all on the game. This is really cool. I've been wanting to play this game for quite a while now. And you know what, I thought, okay, I'll install the game, I'll play a few tutorials and stuff like that just to get the hang of things, and then we'll do a let's play. But I ended up playing it for like 8 hours straight. The sun went down, then it came back up again, and I was like, oh, Kerbal Space Program. So this game is really addictive. It's really awesome. So yeah, I think we should do a let's play of it. So let's dive into it. I am going to show you guys around a little bit. Just for you guys that don't quite know what's cracking off. So let's start a new game here. There's a career mode we can choose, so let's do that. We'll choose the career mode. The player name, I think this is like the company name almost, so let's call it Clev, if I can spell, Clevor Co. Yeah, Clevor Co. Okay, so we can do sandbox or science mode. Well, I think the career mode is going to be really fun actually. Especially because I played it for hours, but I don't quite know I don't know everything. This is such a big game, so I think it's slowly going to drip feed us things to help us understand about the game. So yeah, let's dive into it. Right, so here we go. This is our space center. Talk about humble beginnings. We've already got it all set up. We probably brought it out from some other failing company because we're all set up here. And we don't even have any spacecraft or anything like that. So we've got this guy here. Nice to meet you. I'm Gene Kerman, flight director and your guide to this quick introduction. But you know what? We don't need this guy. Screw that guy. I will be the guide today. So we've got all these buildings here. And I'm sorry if you already know the game, I'm just going over the basics, but for those of you that don't, I'm just going to quickly go over. Yeah, we've got all these buildings here. You can see down in the bottom here, it tells you what they are. This is where all the astronauts hang out. There's the research, the R&D area here. There's the big vehicle assembly building, and that's where we build the buildings. That's pretty cool as well, so maybe we'll go there first. There's also things like tracking stations and stuff. There is a way somewhere. Let's have a look. If we click on the tracking station, okay, here we go. Of course, this is a space game. It's we've got a space program going. That's literally the name of the game. We've got to have a space program. So it's kind of similar to the solar system here. We do have Earth. There's the moon here, but it's called Mun, just called Mun. But then going out, there's another strange satellite that's going around the Earth here. But it's not the Earth. This is called Kerbal. So we've got the Mun, and there's another little planet there as well. So it's very similar to the solar system, but a few changes. So zooming out here, we've got, say, this would be the equivalent of like Mercury, Venus, and Mars here. If we go on Mars, I was checking this out earlier. Pretty interesting, zooming in there. Yeah, so it looks pretty much like Mars, doesn't it? It's got the few polar caps and it's red. But instead of those two little moons that Mars has, it's now got just one big one. There we go, this is it. So yeah, it's pretty much like this for the entire solar system. It's pretty cool. I'm nowhere near this. Like I was saying earlier, I played a little bit. I got nowhere near even leaving, even getting into orbit. So yeah, I think these, like Joule here, I think this is like the equivalent of Jupiter. Possibly. Is this what's this? Dres. Well, yeah, let's zoom in on Joule here. Joule, not Drool. Yeah, so it's got all these little planets circling around it. Look at that. Some of them are in crazy orbits as well. So I guess we can. It must be really late on in the game. We can go to those planets. Let's try and get out of here though. I don't want to blow your minds too much. So yeah, we can have a look at the contracts here. That's pretty much what the game's about. We have to do science, and we also get contracts, and the contracts give us money, I think. I think that's the reward from it. And there's also a bit of science we can do. So let's go to the hangar bay here. the vehicle assembly building. Werner, is that Werner or Werner? Von Kerman. Yeah, he's like the expert rocketry engineer, but we're not gonna listen to him. I will be the expert rocketry engineer today. So we've got all these things down the side here, all these different, I don't know, like sections, all these different tabs, and it divides it up for us. And we don't really have much to choose from, really. There's no fuel tanks. There's this big solid rocket engine, and the solid rocket engines, like, you turn them on and then you can't turn them off. You can't turn them off, so when they start burning, they burn until they're gone. So that's kind of cool. So we don't really have anything to choose from. There's barely anything. Let's go to our contracts here. Down at the bottom here, look at this. Achieve speeds exceeding 150 meters per second. We could probably do that with our current tech. In fact, I can guarantee we can do that. Otherwise, you know, that'd be a very strange game, very short game if we couldn't do it. So let's start off with the command pod here. And that's where our little Kerbal is going to be in there. Our little astronaut is going to be in there. We should probably, if we can find it, here we go, stick a parachute. Look at that. We can pop a parachute on top, which is awesome. So this is your classic, like Apollo era capsule there, which is cool. And then we can stick a little flea. It's known as the flea, the solid fuel booster. Pop that on the bottom. And what else do we need? Oh, we can get some back fins, basic fins here, and these will provide, if we don't have that, it'll be shooting all over the place. So let's get some fins on board here, and we can have pretty much, look at this, if we look down here, we can put loads on, or we can change it, like we can just have one fin, which would probably throw off the balance loads when it's flying. So let's get it symmetrical. Maybe 3. We want to keep the weight down, but we also want to keep it, you know, nice and orientated. If we look at the description here, it says they're just very basic parts. It's dirt cheap and will make your rocket slightly less unstable. So they're very cheap, very basic materials at the moment. So this is it. Can we do this contract? 150 meters per second. Can we do that? We've got this launch option up here, so let's take it to the launch pad and see what we can do. Here we go. Now I've just realised, actually, there are multiple stages. You can add and swap around stages to a rocket as much as you want, really. And I've just realised we've got it all as one stage here, so the rocket would fire and the parachute would come off at the exact same time, which will be incredibly disastrous for us, so we don't want that. So we can add a little a second stage here, and we'll just drag the rocket down. It goes down, it doesn't go from 0, 1, 2, 3, it counts down to the last stages. So the first stage here is going to be 1, which will fire the rocket, and then when we're in space, we've obviously got to come back down, so we're going to hit the parachute. Hopefully this will work. Let's see what happens. Hit the spacebar here. Oh yeah. So we've got the altimeter. Is it an altimeter? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Easy. Speed record 150 meters per second. That's the world first. Oh, 300 meters per second. Any other contracts? Okay. Nice. Oh wow. 450 meters per second. With a tiny little thing like this. That's awesome. And we're up to, look at this, 3,500. Oh, we just got an achievement for it. 3,500 meters. Nice. World first, apparently. There's literally no one else on this planet. Excuse me. Literally no one else on the planet apart from this space center. So yeah, we got a world first there. Nice. And yeah, the fuel here, I should have mentioned that as it was burning, but it will burn down very slowly, or sometimes quickly, and then run out. So it's ran out. Look at this. We've got 7,500 meters, but we ran out of fuel. So all we're doing now is just slowly, very slowly drifting upwards now. If we go into the planet view, this is more if you're like trying to go interplanetary and stuff, but we can really zoom in. That's us. So that's the little, this area here, this little sandy area is the space center. Or is it? It must be here, actually. And so we've just gone up in this loop and we're going to land in the sea. We're going to land in the sea. I think that should be okay. Oh, we've flipped around. Look at this. Okay. So look, if you look now, we're very slowly coming down. I can speed this up just a little bit. Warp time ×2. Let's see what happens. Now, I don't want to pop that chute too early. If you do, then the chute just burns up in the atmosphere, or the G-forces rip it off, or something like that. Oh my god, maybe pop the chute now. Was that a bit too late? Oh, okay, that was strange. I thought we was going to crash and die there. I really thought we did, because of the angle we were at. Oh, we've made it though. All the tail fins blew off, but he has survived. Nice. So we can go here to recover the vessel and get a little bit of our money. Let's see how we did. Nice. We got 5 science for that as well. Cool. So we got a little bit of data. Recovery of a vessel that survived a flight. Awesome. And we got some world first as well. So yeah, 5 science. Let's move on. We recovered some parts as well. Cool. So we got a little bit of our money back. And Jebediah Kerman, our trusty space pilot, astronaut even. Is he an astronaut if he didn't really go into space? We just went high, so who knows. Anyway, you got 1 XP from that. Cool. So what we can do now, actually, that was really cool. Where is the R&D, research and development? Let's check this building out. And yeah, basically we've got the start here, and we can choose which trees we want to branch out into. Look at this. I checked this out earlier. I can't believe how big this game is. Look at that. That's crazy. So we just got 5 research for that. Some of these last things, hypersonic flight, that needs 550 research points to get, which we are obviously nowhere near getting. So let's focus back on these down here. We can either choose Engineering 101, which will give us certain parts. It would give us more things to build ships with. So we can go for a better cockpit here. What's that? Liquid fuel, I think. Oh no, okay, that's the science machine. So if we do science in space, we can get the research points for that as well. So that's cool. And certain things like this decoupler here would be, so we had the solid rocket booster that could shoot up into space, and then once the solid rocket booster like ran out and we didn't need it anymore, it's just added weight, right? We don't want it, so we can use the decoupler to just chuck it back to the ground, and yeah, then we're a little bit lighter. So we could go with this, or we could go with basic rocketry, which will give us the hammer, which is, look at this. So before we had the flea, which was a solid rocket fuel booster. Now we could have the hammer. And look at this, we could have a liquid fuel tank, which you can turn off and on, that's a little bit of an advantage over the solid fuel, which you just light and let it go like a firework or something. The fuel tank here, you can turn it off and on, very precise movements. So what should we go with? I mean, this decoupler is really handy, and also the science machine here is really good for getting some research points. So I think to start with, we should go for Engineering 101. There we go, look at that. Nice. So we own all of these technologies now. Let's go back and go back to the hangar. This is a really cool game. I'm really excited about this. So we could save this. We could save this and come back to it, but we don't want to do that. So we've got this extra cockpit here, this new cockpit. The only problem with this cockpit, if you can see, it already has like a little nose, and so you have to attach the parachute somewhere different. Like, you can't attach it at the top there, it has to be somewhere else on the ship. And I quite like having this kind of Apollo kind of capsule here with the parachute. It seems to work really well. So let's break this thing down and see what else we got. Okay, we didn't get the hammer, We're sticking with the flea actually, because we went for Engineering 101 instead of basic rocketry. What we did get though is that decoupler that I was talking about. So we can pop this on the bottom, and we could go for another, look at this, another solid fuel booster. Basically we could burn all of this fuel. Once it's gone we could decouple it, and then we could burn all of this fuel as well, that's awesome. What else did we have? Oh, we got the science machine. Excuse me. Let's pop this here and then go with that. And yeah, okay. We also have this mystery goo, which we can get science points for. This unit was something that one of our engineers came upon while dumpster diving, while researching alternative applications for existing technologies. So it's really basic. They don't really know what it is. Let's send it into space and see how it acts. We can get science from that, but we do have this big science machine. Let's add some fins on then. I think for the bottom, of course each fin we add is more weight, but we can get more stability from it. So let's add the, what's that, 6 to the bottom, and then possibly, it's a shame we can't do 5. Let's add 6 again to that. Look at that bad boy. That's going to be really stable, hopefully. Now the only problem is we need to bring this thing back. This science machine, we need to bring that back. So let's see how we go. Like before, we just had the thing which does really well. The little capsule here, that's designed to just be on its own, but now it's attached to this. I'm not sure how it will do. I've just had a thought actually. We can revert back to vehicle assembly. I just realized we should have added a little decoupler. See, we've got one here. We should have added one here, maybe, just to make the return journey a little bit easier. Let's go with that. And maybe, what are our contracts here? Set a distance record of 500 meters, set a speed record of 750 meters per second. Altitude, look at this, altitude of 11.5 kilometers. That's one of the contracts. I don't know who's doing it. Maybe it's like an X prize thing, how they say, if you can reach this goal, we'll give you certain money. Let's see how it works. So we got the fuel here, it's almost depleted. Let's have a look. Okay, it's depleted. Let's destroy that, and next stage. There we go. Nice. Cool. Okay, so we drop that and then we're firing the other rocket here. Pretty simple. And once that's gone, just dead weight now so we can drop that. And now we're just like a speeding bullet going into space at, if you look here, 550 meters per second. We're shooting into space. That's dropping though. Obviously that'll probably get to 0 and then we'll start heading back down. Oh, we just hit, there we go, world first, 11.5 kilometers, if I can get my words out. Kilometers. 15,000. I wonder what the next target is. Let's have a little look if I can get it. Is there any more? Oh, 19. We're heading up very slowly. Look at this. Maybe we'll make 19. I think we will. There we go. Another world first. Awesome. So we are pretty high on the altitude thing here. Let's get the... I wondered what that was. I think... Okay, we'll do some science quickly. Yeah. The rarefied air has caused interesting changes to gel samples. It seems like something is happening with the interior structure. Now we can beam that home, but I don't think we have the technology on board to beam that home. Or we can keep the data and we get a few more points for it. Now I did hear an explosion earlier. I think that was part of the spent rocket. Yeah. As it fell back to Earth. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's not on this thing. We're not tracking it anymore, so it must have hit the ground. So we're heading back down now. And this is a little bit nerve-wracking. Of course, we do have Jebediah Kerman on there. He's our pilot. Now, ideally, as we're falling back to Earth, we don't want this thing on here. We don't want this science machine on there. But we kind of need it. We need it to do science and stuff. So, let's see. I'll speed it up a little bit. As we're falling back, we can see the altitude is dropping like crazy. We're more like a bullet. If we release this, which we can't, we never built in a decoupler, so it's science or bust really. If we did release that, that thing would have flipped around and been really, really good. Let's see. Our speed is still dropping. We're down to 1,500. Let's hit the parachute. Has it deployed? Oh yes, look at that. Wow. Perfect. So we've fallen down to, look at this, 5 meters a second, almost there, 6 meters a second. Nice. Let's speed the time up, and are we gonna land? Yes. Look at that, nice. It looked like we hit that really fast, but of course I was speeding up the time. Cool. So we did some science in space. Let's recover the vessel. Yeah, nice. We got 23.3 science from that. What? Okay, recovery of a vessel that survived a flight. We got 0.8 science, and we did that science in space. We got 22.5 science for that. One of the things I was thinking as well, we could have got the astronaut to do a little space report. He just fills in some charts or something, and we get a little bit of science for that. But I got too excited. I got too carried away. So we can spend those points, guys. We got some money back as well, and any XP? No XP from that. Okay. Well, that's it. That's Kerbal Space Program. I really enjoy this. You might be able to tell I'm really enjoying this. So I'm going to call the episode there, guys, and I will definitely see you guys next time for another episode of, I don't know, Let's Play Kerbal Space Program.